How did you start your business? How did you start this business from scratch? How did you start? How did you start and how did you get customers to know you? And how long did it take you to get famous? How did you start? I have no idea where to begin. Hi guys, my name's Tina Nguyen. I'm the founder of XXL Scrunchie. I launched my small business in January 2020 in my tiny 400 square foot apartment. Like my bed was right here and the stove was right beside it. The bathroom was just like a skip away. It was so small. And today we operate out of our 5,000 square foot warehouse. We're almost 4.5 years old, which is crazy. Since starting our journey and my small business, I just thought I would be, selling scrunchies. But I've been asked so many questions since I've started, like the ones you saw at the beginning of the video, and I still get them to this day. And it's so hard for me to answer something like that in a comment back to someone. So I thought I would make this video and finally answer that question. How did I start my small business? How I began selling and shipping online, what I did in the beginning, my mistakes, and what I would do differently now. Because guys, I made a lot of mistakes. I hope what I share today will give you the tools or maybe even the inspiration to start today, because you literally can. Because if I did it, you can too. This is also kind of like the story of how starting a small business transformed my life. It now gave me something I love doing. It allowed me to also get closer to my parents, because at the beginning I asked for their help and then I moved home with them and took over their house. We got a lot closer, especially during the pandemic. All we were doing was we're all making scrunchies together in their house. This video is going to explain exactly how I got started, including the credentials you need, an email you need, platforms you might want to host your website on, the costs, how to even get a website and what that really entails, and even the domain name, how to ship an order and sell online. I'm also gonna share what I would do differently in each of those moments, because I would have done it a lot differently with hindsight as a benefit. Starting a small business, I know, can be really daunting, because at first I did say no. My cousin, when I made her the first scrunchie as a gift, she told me to start it as a business and I said no. I was like, that's crazy. Like, where do I even begin? That just the word starting a business sounds like so much work, but I'm really gonna break it down for you guys. So I hope that it can really inspire at least one person to know that they can start too, because the benefits truly are life-changing. You have the opportunity to be your own boss, to make your own hours, and mainly the thing I love about it is creating something that's truly my own. The other night I'm looking up these new samples and designing these other products and picking new fabrics for our next collection drop, and I was like, I love that I get to pick all of this for my store, and I get to build things for like our brand and we have a team that believes in it too, and the community, our community, I'm really grateful for. Basically, the sky's the limit, because I started with one XXL scrunchie. Now we have mini scrunchies, XXS scrunchies. We just launched hair bows. We have hair claw clips in 3 sizes. We're gonna launch more sizes. I launched a beach towel with my artwork. We have tote bags with my artwork. I designed all the packaging. The sky is the limit when you have a small business or when you're an entrepreneur. And if they ordered 2, I would scan it twice. If they ordered this one, I would scan. Hope you guys don't mind. I'm just going to be elasticing scrunchies to make the most of my time. As some of you may know, that I usually do that. This video is going to explain exactly how I started my small business, what things cost me when I started, the way I went about things, how I learned what I learned, and I think the most valuable thing about this is what I would have done differently. Feel free to learn from my mistakes that I like to call life lessons. But I hope you do know that starting a small business is daunting, it is scary, and you are like exposing yourself. But the benefits are life-changing, because you really do get to have something of your own that you built, that you control, that you get to grow into whatever size that you want to grow it into. If you want a 20,000 square foot warehouse, you could get it one day. You could build it up to that. Let's get into it now. what did I get ready before I launched my small business? So from the moment, if some of you don't know, it was December 2019 where I made a scrunchie out of one of my mom's old shirts, gifted it to my cousin, and she told me to start it as a business. I'm gonna be sharing from what happened the moment I decided to start the small business until I launched it. And there was about like a 2-week period in between the launching of it and the day we decided it was gonna happen. Have you heard of CRM software? Customer Relationship Management Software refers to business applications that help companies organize all their customer information in one place to streamline communication. One such application is Begin by Zoho CRM. Zoho Corporation is one of the world's most prolific technology companies with over 55 apps in nearly every major business category. And Begin is one of the most recently launched CRM applications from Zoho and is trusted by over 20,000 businesses worldwide. If you're running a small business like us and facing challenges managing your day-to-day business activities or know any entrepreneurs finding it difficult to manage their customer information, watch and share this video with them, as Begin can play a major role in simplifying business processes. With Begin, you can store all customer details all in one place. Manage emails, calls, meetings, and WhatsApp messages directly from Begin. Integrate with Gmail, Zoom, MailChimp, and over 200,000 apps that you use daily. Automate daily tasks. It only takes 30 minutes to set up your account on Begin, as it provides ready-made templates for all kinds of businesses and teams. This includes real estate, insurance, legal, freelancers, content planners, and many more. So all you have to do is choose a template based on your business type and customize it based on your requirements. Let's take a look at an example of a travel agency here. Begin allows a travel agency to store all client details, preferences, and interactions all in one place, making it easier to personalize services for their clients. They can also automate routine tasks, such as sending booking confirmations or follow-up emails, set reminders for important dates, and make sure that no deadlines or client requirements are overlooked. And if they're to run special offers, the mass mailing functionality can be used. Thus, from new bookings to client support, the travel agency can oversee and coordinate all aspects of its operations with software like Begin. Likewise, be it any business, Begin will have it covered. Best part, Begin's highly rated mobile applications help take your business information with you anywhere, anytime. And you don't need to worry about the cost, as Begin offers a free forever plan, and their paid edition starts at just $7 per user per month, making it the most affordable CRM solution in the market. You can also get up to 50% off, up to $100 by using this code, Begin Scrunchie. So what did I get ready before? 1, the business name. I'm gonna list all the points and then we'll go through the points in detail together. Business name. So we came up with XXL, and then I decided to call it XXL Scrunchie. And then I knew one day I wanted to grow it to more than scrunchies. So I decided the website name, xxlandco.com, because I didn't want it to be xxlscrunchie.com, because that would be confusing for future customers when we don't just sell scrunchies. A business email. So you'll need your 1, business name, 2, business website, 3, business email. You need an address. You need to have an address for if packages get returned to you, you need to have that address somewhere. And just for legal purposes, you need to have an address. So at that time, I had entered my parents' address as a business address. Everything was my parents' address. Another question you might have is, do I need to give my home address if I'm starting my small business from home? The answer is like yes and no. I did want to do a PO box because I did feel the same concerns as you, like, oh my god, I don't want to give out my home address. PO boxes, I think, don't accept like big packages, like bigger ones, and you'll probably be ordering supplies, and it's just more of a hassle to go there than to just get packages delivered to your home and have your home address as the address. It's way more convenient. Nothing ever really happened to us, if that makes you feel any better. You need a logo. So this is where it was easier for me. Before I started XXL Scrunchie, I was a graphic designer, and that was what I thought I was going to pursue, doing graphic design and painting murals. So I had the graphic design skills to brand everything I needed and even make my website. So you're gonna need a logo. But if you aren't familiar with graphic design, as not everyone can just pull that out of their, I don't know, bag of tricks, you might need to hire a designer if you want a custom logo, or just make a simple one on Canva. Canva is a free app, and you could just make a really simple logo. They have logo templates you could choose from, and then customize your own logo. But you're gonna need a logo because that's how customers recognize you, by your logo. It's all part of the branding, which is incredibly important for building your business in your community for your customers and be recognizable as you grow. You need photography and photos, and so for social media, this is what our profile photo is, and that's what it's been since the beginning. So that's why you need a logo for your profile photo, and you need photos because I'll get to that. So photos, you do not need to get a fancy photographer at first. Starting out, I did not have a photographer, and I don't regret that. I did have a Nikon camera, but the iPhone takes just as good photos now. So you'll need to have photos so that before you launch, have a couple photos posted already on your Instagram page, so that when you launch, your Instagram page isn't just blank and it has some product pictures on there already so people can find and look at it. So that's why you need photos. I just went in my condo building. There's like one of those amenities rooms that everyone can rent and use. So I just went there with all my scrunchies and took photos on the tables. And I remember I had a pillow like this, and it was white and fuzzy. I'll have to find the photos. I would just put scrunchies on there and take the picture. I would put the camera on timer, put my arm in front and take the picture. Or if I was taking a picture in my own hair, I would set the timer on camera and then run, pose, go back, change the scrunchie, and go again. And that's what I did for like the first year. So if you're just starting, just use your phone or whatever you have, and make sure you have good lighting for your photos. You also need to write your About Me bio on your website, and a little blurb about yourself. You'll need to insert those blurbs about yourself basically everywhere, on all your social media pages that you make, on your website. You're gonna need that. So be prepared to pre-write that. You'll also need social media handles, and you'll want them to be consistent. So you'll need Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter. Just letting you guys know, I don't think Twitter allows dots in between, because on Instagram we're XXL.scrunchy, but on Twitter we're XXL_scrunchy. So keep that in mind when you're making your handles. By the way, if you already have a website up and running and you kind of just want marketing tips, how to grow your small business and get sales, you can watch one of these videos I already made, and then when you're done, if you haven't done that and you finish this video, you can watch that next. So I have you guys prepared and ready to go. So point number 1, registering your small business. According to the law that I don't know very well, you need to register. When you start making income, you need to claim that income somehow through your business. So at the time, I was already a sole proprietor. By the way, I'm based in Ontario, Canada, so these rules may not apply to where you're living, but it should be a similar vibe. But this is, again, what I did. At the time, I was a mural artist and graphic designer, so I already was a sole proprietor. And what that means is a sole proprietor, also known as a sole tradership, individual entrepreneurship, or proprietorship, is a type of enterprise owned and run by one person. No legal distinction about who owns the business. So what does that even mean? Me reading that, I barely can understand what that means. A quick rundown: I'm not an accountant, so please go see one if you need accounting advice. I recommend you actually start talking to one once you start getting sales, or even before, to help you prepare and plan. They'll give you tips for success down the road, they could also give you advice on if you should be sole proprietor or do corporation. I wish I went sooner. That's one of my biggest regrets, not going to see an accountant, because they could have saved me more money and helped me be better prepared and understand my finances way better and earlier. But basically, sole proprietor is when you're just the owner and you're not a corporation. And so you're getting paid directly to your personal income is you. But when you're a corporation, the business gets paid, and then you are an employee, but also the owner of the business. So it's a little bit separated. Benefits to both, but when you're starting, I think most people just start out as a sole proprietor. And then once you're making more money, just to be long story short, once you're making more money, then you incorporate. But it depends on what business you're in as well. So please talk to an accountant about that, depending on what your business is. And Registering for the business itself was super easy. I think Bruce needs to go outside. Registering was super easy. I went on owner.com, OWNR.com, and registered. I think I paid like $10 or something. And then that was it. I was registered. Now that you're legally registered, you're probably wondering, now what? How do I sell online? Next step is step 2, choosing a platform or website. This is what I'm gonna explain what I did versus what I wish I did earlier. I had my portfolio website for my murals on Squarespace. My website was called graphictina.ca, so I thought I would make it graphictina.ca/shop. So that's how I launched my website. It was people went to graphictina.ca/shop and they bought scrunchies from the Squarespace website. However, I now host my website on Shopify, which I wish I did sooner because it's just a better shopping experience for your customers and for you. It has so many customizations for what you need, such as managing your inventory. You can do it on Shopify. Shopify can connect to thousands of different apps to customize your store. For example, right now I'm working with this app to make a custom cart that allows for tiered rewards. If a customer orders $50, they'll get a free keychain, or to the next tier, they would get free shipping at $99, and then the next tier they would get a free gift again at $150. You can't do that on Squarespace unless you I don't even know if you can. No, I don't think you can't. And there's detailed shipping settings you can change. Just Shopify, the best, one of the best platforms for small business, e-commerce, selling things online. But you're probably wondering, how do I set up my Shopify? So you're going to need a website name. With Shopify, you can just sign up, and then with Shopify, you can buy a package to also pick your website name. I already bought my name on GoDaddy.com. Buying a domain name is literally buying like xxlnco.com or xxlscrunchy.com. That is a domain name. So I already pre-purchased that, and then I connected it with my Shopify platform that I also bought separately. So there's your website platform, and you need your website name. I wish I started off with Shopify. It would have saved me so much time because I did everything on Squarespace, and then I had to do double the work to re-upload back to Shopify. By the way, my friend Lauren from Chloe Design Studio designed my website and created the template for me to drop in when I need it, and I've edited it since. But if you need a website designer, highly recommend her. We used to work together, and we still work together to this day. By the way, there are monthly fees for Shopify and GoDaddy. In regards to setting up your email, because you're gonna need a business email to log into all of these and create one for customers replying back to you, I would just start off with a Gmail. Like, that's what I did. And then once you grow, you can make your own personal custom email, because that also costs money. And I'm aware that, not everyone, when you're starting, you wanna save as much money as possible. And I don't think email is that important to have like the custom one. I think it is now for branding purposes, but before I held off a bit too. Details you might want to go through when you're getting your website set up. Filling in all the company details. You'll have to fill in right terms and conditions for your site. Honestly, what I did was look at other sites and then rewrite one version of my own. You'll have to write a return policy if you have one. Cover all your bases. You'll need to upload products, photos, and descriptions for whatever you're selling. Let people know where exactly you ship to, and in Shopify, you can set which countries exactly you ship to, because right now we don't ship worldwide. Well, we do, but the worldwide ones cost a lot, but we're working on getting a better rate for worldwide shipping. You'll need to set up your cart checkout, upload your logo into the website. You'll need to add an about page and a contact page for people who go to your website and might want to ask you a question. You could even look at my website as a skeleton if you want to see what pages you should include for your site. Now you've got your website name, your platform set up, you're registered. Just a bit more detail about Shopify. It's where your website's hosted. So this is what my website looks like when I want to edit it for a new launch day. It's pretty easy once you look into it and actually open it. Before, Shopify seemed like this crazy app that was only for coders, but it's pretty user-friendly. Highly recommend you just open it, take a look, and it'll just make you feel way better. You can also customize your cart and your checkout page, which is going to be really important for customers actually checking out and making a purchase from you. Okay, let's pretend you have your website set up. How do you ship orders? This is where I was so confused, and you might laugh at what I used to do. I initially had no idea how to ship anything. I would ship letters to people. Like, the most I used to do was mail letters. Like, I never shipped anyone anything back in the day. It was just so expensive to me to go ship to people things. But when I first got my orders with XXL Scrunchie, I remember just setting up and saying shipping cost people $5. So I just was charging people $5. And I would pack up all their packages, and then when I made my first little trip to the post office, Canada Post, I had like an armful of packages, and I hand wrote each person's address and like taped it onto each package. Meanwhile, they like reprint their own slip. So like handwriting it was a big waste of time. So I had my handful of packages that I hand wrote the addresses on, and you know how long some people's names are. It took me forever, and then I would write it obviously super nice, because like these were my first orders, and I was so grateful that people like were ordering scrunchies from me from my little apartment. I showed up shipping an order to someone in Toronto who lived in an apartment, so I obviously couldn't deliver it myself, but it was also like way across town, so like an hour. Cost $15 plus tax. And then all the orders, I remember one was like too big of a dimension, so it was like $30. Shipping is crazy expensive, guys. That was my huge mistake. I wish if I measured the package, you can enter the package dimensions and the weight on Shopify, and they give you a slightly discounted shipping rate. So that's what I discovered after. You can just print the labels from home, because I was taking the bus to go from my apartment to the post office, and I would have to bundle up because it was winter. I had to put on my boots and my coat, wait for the bus, get on the bus, get off the bus, go inside, be all sweaty from wearing so many layers, and then go wait for the bus again and wait in line at the post office. There was always a line. So I could have saved a lot of time pre-printing my slips from home. Now what we do is we actually have a commercial account with Canada Post. The only reason I got it was because I got a call from a rep and they offered it to us. So I don't know how you can get it, but I'm sure you could call someone to ask if you're, because we do still ship with Canada Post. It's not like $30 a package. Some of them are when they weigh a lot, which just means the customer ordered a lot. But yeah, shipping, you're gonna come across like how unbelievably expensive it is for Canada to ship elsewhere. I think in the States it's more reasonable. I don't know, that's what I've heard. By the way, a big mistake I made was before in Shopify, you can pre-enter the weights of items. So I would weigh each scrunchie and put in the weight. But then as our business grew, we started having different packaging options, and for some packages, I didn't incorporate what the package weight would be. So I would just pre-print all our shipping labels because everything was pre-weighed by product. And then one day we had like hundreds of orders taken back to us because all the weights were off by like 10 to 20 grams or something. And that makes a price difference. So we had to like re-stick and re-enter in all those packages and reprint all the labels. But again, shipping with a platform online, or having a commercial account or a small business account, or shipping and printing labels online with Shopify. I believe some people use ClickShip, I've heard of, and Stallion Express, and use them instead of going directly to like UPS or DHL or FedEx, because those shipping companies directly are really expensive if you go right to them. Just a tip I've recently learned. Another cool thing about Shopify is you can set up shipping zones. So for customers I have in Canada and USA, they get free shipping for over 99 Canadian. And in Europe, they get free shipping for over 150. So you can set up little customizations like that. And you can place test orders. So another, I guess, green flag for using Shopify as your platform. The next step I wish I did sooner, that we do now that I didn't do it in the beginning, was to use ShipStation, which is where you guys probably see us printing out our packing slips. ShipStation allows you to print out packing slips. On Shopify, if you print out a packing list, it's only organized in alphabetical order. But on ShipStation, you can organize them by these SKUs that we enter per product. So our products in our warehouse, if you walk around, they're organized by alphabetical SKUs. So the first products are our hair pouches, cotton pouches, then it's XXL scrunchies, so that when we're picking our orders, we can go in a workflow. Instead of going, oh, the product's here, and then, oh, we have to go all the way on the other side for the next product. But if a customer orders it, it will be in an alphabetical list in the order of the path we walk when we pick orders. ShipStation allows you to do that. I explain it more further in depth in another video, but I'd recommend once you get more than maybe 10 products, you can look into using ShipStation to help you organize when you're packing your orders, because you want to be the most time efficient possible to save time where you can, because I've never realized how precious time is until I started my small business. It also allows us to make barcodes and scan items to verify them, like this. This one's so pretty. Say 2 more colors and Taylor. Because when I used to pick orders, even if people would order 2 of things, I would circle the number 2. I would still, human error would occur. So now we can rely on this verification shipping system. And I tried to look it up before because I always was making errors, and I was like, I wish there was a way to scan items and they tell you if it's right or wrong. Because if you scan the wrong item, it also tells you. It will save you a lot in having an unhappy customer or having to reship them the correct product. It's nice to have. Maybe I do wish I had it sooner. Not after a while. I wish I had that way sooner. Now I think we've gone through all the steps. 1, registering your business. 2, what website platform to use. 3, what you'll need to fill in your website. And on Shopify, there's tons of free themes. So you can pick a free theme and then input all your stuff in. You don't technically need a designer to do it right away, but to get one to set it up in what makes sense for your business, because setting up your site in a user-friendly way is incredibly important for your sales. Because if a customer is trying to find something on your site and it's not easy, you could lose them in just 2 seconds if it's gonna be hard to buy something and hard to navigate. And even having a designer, graphic designers who specializes in website design, they'll know something like your images you upload should not be 300 dpi. It should be a certain size that's clear enough to see on the computer, but the lowest size in megabytes or gigabytes that it needs to be, because it could be taking up wasted space on your website and then slowing your website down for no reason when it doesn't need to be that big of an image. And by big, I mean the data size, not even the size. So I would never know that if I wasn't a graphic designer. I'd be like, oh, it's just a photo, I can put it in. No, there's so much more to the photo. So much more. Okay, next, you also have your website domain name now. You now know how to ship orders, which is through your website platform. You just print the label after a customer makes an order, which is amazing. Or you use your shipping provider that you signed up with. For example, ClickShip, or I heard Chit Chats is really good for Ontario. Set up for shipping, have your packaging. I just used random poly mailers when I first started. I just used whatever I could get as soon as possible. Registering for a shipping account so that you'll have a way to ship things and pay for your shipping fees. And then the last step was ShipStation, if you want to set that up to get packing slips and to barcode your items, so that you can scan to verify and then scan to print. You can print shipping labels right from ShipStation as well if you set it up. Set up your shipping account in ShipStation. And that's it. That's not it, but those are the bare bones you need to start your business. I didn't even have ShipStation or a shipping account when I started. So technically you don't need those things, but I wish I had those things to save me money and time. Instead, I just kind of had to learn from my mistakes, my expensive mistakes, that I wish I had those sooner. Let me know if you have more questions about any of these topics. I'm so happy to help. I was really surprised when I started my small business and have received messages like these that say, "You inspired me, I started my small business because of you." I never thought like starting a small business that would happen and that I would be able to help people in that way, because that's something I've always wanted to do, help people and give back. Thanks for being here, XXL Fam members. If you're seeing the scrunchie and it hasn't launched yet, it's part of our summer launch, summer 2024, and it's gonna be limited edition. Comes in all the sizes. Where's XXS? Hit the subscribe button if you like what you heard. Like the video at the bottom if you can, to help it get seen more and maybe help at least one more person. If you have a dream or an idea that you've been wanting to start for a while, take this as your sign to go for it. If you stumbled upon this video, watched it all, take it as a sign to start today, because you can. Your chances of success are much higher if you start